we explored the cracks in Summit's one-trick economy in our Best of 2020 series. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93. First, CDOT shut down mountain passes earlier today for semi-truck recovery after a slick, snowy day yesterday. Hoosier Pass was closed for 3 hours at 10 a.m. Eastbound Vail Pass closed at 11. Both passes are open again, but you can still expect congested holiday traffic countywide. Colorado was home to the coldest cold in the continental U.S. this morning when Antero Reservoir, about 50 miles south of Breck, recorded negative 50 degrees. That is 1 degree shy of the season low of negative 51 in Alaska, 11 degrees warmer than the all-time Colorado low from February 1985 in tiny Maybell. Summit Cove near Keystone hit negative 26 before sunrise, the coldest here in Summit. This week on the State of Summit.
It sucked. I don't wish it on anybody. And I wasn't even bad. I didn't have to go to the hospital.
That was 20-year local Scott Keys of Breckenridge. He's a server with Downstairs at Eric's, where he caught COVID-19 during an October outbreak. But he thought it was something else.
Funny enough, it was during all the smoke. The fire smoke was coming in. All the smoke rolled in, and I got the normal headache and cough and sore throat that came with that, and I didn't think anything of it.
1 week later, fatigue knocked him flat for 3 straight weeks.
I was cold, I was exhausted, I slept 15 hours. The first week I was so nauseous I couldn't really eat to keep food down, and then it was just sleep. And it was not fun. It was not a normal flu or anything I've ever experienced before.
Like thousands of others, Scott got rent relief through the FERC, but he also lost weeks of work and burned through most of his savings. He has an underlying health condition, which has made recovery achingly slow.
I've broken arms, I've broken wrists, I've had ribs. I think the closest thing to anything like this was ribs, but I could still move around. I could function. This just kind of wiped me out.
He says friends and family back home in Minnesota still question the pandemic, same as some guests at his restaurant. And part of him can't blame them.
I can go back when I found out I was exposed. I didn't feel bad. I thought it was just the smoke in the air, and for a week that's how I felt. But when it finally hit me a week after I was exposed, I was out for 3 weeks.
His best advice is take the virus seriously. And if you are sick or quarantined at home, remember, good times are coming soon.
We've got our backyard. We're going to have mountain biking in the summer. We're going to get through this, and it's going to be awesome again, and we'll get back at it.
When we talked to Scott yesterday, Tuesday, he had just left the gym, where he still gets winded, but can finally make it through a full workout. Tune in again next Wednesday for The State of Summit on Krystal 93. We're creeping closer to 2021 and looking back on 2020 when pandemic fallout exposed the cracks in Summit's economy and brought new opportunities. Our report on vitality and diversification from June. This week on the State of Summit, local insiders explain how COVID-19 exposed Summit's economic weaknesses and unlikely opportunities.
Summit hasn't really had to do much in the past. It was people are coming here and they keep coming here, so there wasn't really anything that we needed to be working on to that level. We didn't have to be looking at an economic development or resiliency strategic plan as much as other communities maybe did.
That was April Kroner, a new addition to Summit County's planning department. She's from Wisconsin and still wrapping her head around mountain town economics, but she has seen the data and knows Summit is not prepared for long-term shutdown.
Part of the difficulty with it is, as you know, here we're about 70% based on the tourism economy, which is why we're seeing the hit so hard here.
Small business owner Ciara de los Reyes of Outsider Breck agrees with Kroner. She saw it firsthand at her downtown storefront.
For a lot of Summit County businesses, March is our prime month for revenue. So it's a huge shocker. It was a huge, obviously, dent in our sales.
De Los Reyes admires Town of Breck for giving immediate financial support to business owners. Local towns approved relief packages worth a combined $3 million for April and May, giving entrepreneurs time to plan.
I've had the chance to really rethink the business. Are there things that we can do to kind of shift and pivot?
But municipal relief was a Band-Aid. Town of Breck estimates $20 million worth of budget cuts this year, and Kroner explains the county is missing a key office.
The county currently doesn't have, an economic development office.
Eagle, Pitkin, Montrose, and other peer counties have those offices, while Town of Silverthorne has the county's Lone Economic Incentives Program. Blair McGarry Executive Director at Summit Chamber.
The future, post-COVID does not exist, and it's really up to us to create that and make it exactly what we want it to be.
Like McGarry, Kroner sees COVID as a reset button.
As a result of this COVID, I think the county is able to see that we do need to be at the table with everyone else.
Months later, the numbers paint a clear, stark picture. 79 of 91 Breckenridge restaurants lost money March through October, a combined $23.3 million after years of growth. Countywide, business owners expect to be down $570 million from March. And Vail Resorts was down 44% August through November after tumbling 63% March through July, equal to losses of at least $200 million. Summit County residents over the age of 70 can now get a COVID vaccine. Governor Jared Polis.
Over 78% of COVID deaths in our state are people aged 70 and older. And now people aged 70 and older will have the opportunity to begin getting vaccinated, protected in the next few days.
Vaccination is by appointment only at the drive-through site in Frisco. Schedule your appointment online at summitcountyco.gov. In sports, Austrian Matthias Mayer won today's World Cup downhill in Bormio, Italy. Ryan Cochran-Siegel was top American, finishing 7th, one day after winning the first title of his career at Super G. Next up, World Cup men and women race slalom in Croatia. And in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, first race of the A-Basin Rise and Shine Rando Series is scheduled for next Tuesday, January 5th, giving you 3 days to race uphill and record your time. Get details at arapahoebasin.com. Phil Lindemann with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93.